Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So I've been shooting with the Olympus EPL5, the brand new little micro four thirds camera, and I've been shooting with it now for about a month. So I thought it was time to do my 1 month ongoing review, let you know how things are going with it, and pros and any cons, just to keep you up to date for those of you that are looking at getting the EPL5. In a nutshell, basically, and here it is here. Here's the EPL5 there with the Panasonic 20mm f1.7. But in a nutshell, I love it. Absolutely love it. The more I play with it, the more I shoot with it, the more I love it. Don't really have any drawbacks, any cons to it. The size and the weight is great. I mean, as you can see, it's a very, very small camera. There is a nice compact size to it, and the weight is very minimal. It doesn't weigh much at all. I thought I might miss the viewfinder when I made the decision to get the EPL5 instead of the Olympus OMD EM5, but as it turns out, really I haven't found myself missing it. The screen is great for shooting, and I really like the tap and shoot. It gives you the option you can tap and focus or tap and shoot on the screen, and it's just been great. The big surprise for me is I was expecting really good image quality from the EPL5, and there's excellent image quality, but I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it actually is. Not missing my D7000 at all. The EPL5's image quality, which is the same as the Olympus OMD EM5, which by all reports you've probably read or seen how great that image quality is. So same sensor, same image quality out of this. Some people have said the EPL5 has slightly better. There's been rumors there's no AA filter on the sensor in here. I'm not sure if that's the case. You can find arguments either way. But basically, same image quality as the OMD EM5, which is excellent. On par with my Nikon D7000, on par with the best APS-C sensors out there. You may find some on-paper specs that don't show it to be on par or exactly equivalent, but it is so close, and in real shooting terms, in real life shooting situations, the image quality is phenomenal. Micro Four Thirds is there now, folks. It used to be that we would say, Micro Four Thirds, neat concept, but you couldn't get the quality out of it. Well, you can now. The EPL5 demonstrates that. The OMD EM5 demonstrates that. The new Panasonic GH3 demonstrates that. Next on my list of things I wanted to point out to you, auto white balance in this camera is probably the best auto white balance I've used on any camera to date. Colors are rendered perfectly. Now, I will say with a caveat for those of you that have read about or own an Olympus OMD EM5 or the EPL5, you need to turn off the warm feature. I think that's what they call it. But they basically have this set to default where it kind of makes everything look like you've shot it in halogen lighting or something. As soon as you turn that feature off, the auto white balance on the EPL5 is phenomenal. As I said, one of the best cameras I've ever shot with for auto white balance. Really nice color rendering. I just love it. The high ISO, again, back to image quality, it's awesome. I was not expecting high ISO this good out of this camera. I don't have any reservations shooting at ISO 3200 in the same situations I would have shot ISO 3200 on my Nikon D7000. Even ISO 6400 is good. I tried to stay away from that on the 7000. I tried to stay away from it on the EPL5. But honestly, when the times of whether you're going to get the shot or not, and you go ahead and use it on the EPL5, I haven't been disappointed. It's actually been very good, very nice. There's just something that Olympus is doing right with this sensor and this camera. It's very good image quality and very good at high ISOs. One of the things that really started endearing this camera even more to me is when I picked up my Olympus 45mm f1.8 and then followed by the Panasonic 20mm f1.7, which is what's on the camera right now. And not only does it make the camera a really small camera as opposed to having that kit zoom on there, it just changes it altogether as in terms of image quality. It becomes, for lack of another way to put it, it's just a magical combination. The sharpness, the rendering of the image, the the rendering of the background out of focus, the bokeh or bokeh, whatever you want to say there, is just phenomenal with both of these lenses. I'm very pleased with them, and it's taken me back to more prime shooting, because these primes on these cameras together, small, light, and just phenomenal capabilities. You need to really try them to understand why myself and other people who say the same thing about these cameras with these little beautiful primes are saying this, because it's really something. The only thing I could even begin to probably compare it to is a Leica with a small prime. And I'm not saying they're that good, although they may well be. But my point is that that's the closest thing you could compare them to for that kind of magical shooting experience that people talk about. Build quality, excellent, exceptional, well made. I've had no problems with it. It's still, it's showing no signs of any wear whatsoever after a month of shooting. Everything's been working well. I haven't come across anything that's a con or a negative there. I really like the camera, and the build quality is holding up. I guess one of the other things that's kind of just a point to make is it's just a really cool little camera. It's fun to shoot with. It's cool to own, to have, to shoot with, and that kind of cool factor, if you will, isn't present on a lot of other cameras. Certainly not on most APS-C or full-frame DSLRs. They're neat, they're good cameras, but they don't have this kind of cool factor here. This is the kind of camera that maybe James Bond or somebody would whip out. He wouldn't be carrying around, a DSLR. And I guess to sum it up, to really put a cap on what my overall impressions are, is that I'm not missing my D7000 at all. I've sold off all my DSLRs, and I'm all Micro Four Thirds now, currently with the EPL5 and with the GH2, which I got on a really good deal on Cyber Week specials. And I may be adding the OMD EM5. I don't know. Would like to, but again, you got to weigh cost and benefits, and so far the EPL5 is awesome. So realistically, I probably don't have a reason to. I also would like to add the GH3, but I got the GH2 for such a great deal, and that's what I'm going to primarily use for video, that realistically I don't know that I can justify spending that money. But anyways, that's my my summary of a month of ongoing shooting with the EPL5. No real cons to speak of. Love the camera. I've covered off the points that really are great with it, and why it's really fitting in well for me. And so I hope that helps for you if you're looking at this camera as a possibility for something to either add to your DSLRs, or if you're switching to Micro Four Thirds. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with some new videos, some new articles here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks a lot.